Hello there, it's me, Timothy Lunn, and you are listening to the Anime in the UK podcast. And we're on episode 2, yeah!
Can't believe we actually got that far.
Yes, and of course, the other voice you are hearing right now is my very own co-host, Rebecca.
Hello.
Hey,
I
hey, it's good.
I promise I will talk this time.
Yeah, it says we are new to this, so we're still trying to learn the things. Rebecca, it says, as I said, I notice I'm a very, very, very talkative person, and
That you are.
poor Rebecca here sometimes gets cut off. But I'm gonna make a job of it. I'm gonna make sure that Rebecca here definitely gets some more lines. So yeah, as you said, this is the Anime in UK podcast. This is your UK look at the anime community. Everything anime.
We don't seem to be as much anime this episode.
No, I will
We
admit.
still got some.
We got some, but unfortunately, it called E3 on, and we both really wanted to talk about E3. We actually did have an anime subject to talk about, but we thought it was just a little bit too big to just. And with all the E3 stuff in it, it would be such a long episode, so we decided the subject we were going to cover today, we're actually going to cover next week. But before we start, I guess, proper with episode 2, we must really, really thank everybody who has sent really supportive messages about the podcast, who really really enjoyed it. I actually received a wonderful message saying that I have a wonderful voice for podcasting. It's funny because I'm normally told I have a wonderful face for radio.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah. I think sometimes, Rebecca, you can have a horrible face or have a wonderful face for radio, but still not have a very good voice for radio.
But if you said to me about a year ago, it's like,
yeah,
you're going to be doing a podcast. I'm thinking, what the heck?
Yeah. But I was saying, one amazing thing that actually happened was we got retweeted by one of my literally YouTube idols. I have been watching this guy, Guru Larry. I have been watching him like probably since like 2005, 2006, and he actually retweeted the podcast. So that was absolutely mad to essentially get noticed by your idol, essentially getting noticed by senpai. So it's just absolutely nuts, the response we've already received. You said we love you all so much. And before I forget, I must say we are now on Twitter, aren't we, Rebecca?
Oh yeah, I think we probably need to put a bit more content on there, but
yes,
we're getting out there slowly and surely.
Yes, we are on Twitter. We are at Anime in the UK. If you'd like to, hopefully I'll have it up on screen. Hopefully, if I actually remember in post editing. Trust me, this show is a bugger to edit.
I will have to poke you on that one.
Yeah. Then after, also we are hopefully. I have been asked about this. Be like put on the Spotify, put on Apple. I am working on that. I mean, first off, I kind of made this podcast to go onto YouTube. I was looking at it as a sort of as a video with the images to going along with it. But for more like reading up, I can see that people would probably like a audio version. So hopefully very soon, hopefully in the next few episodes, we'll be able to announce about where all the podcast is available. But keep an eye on our little Twitter, and that's where all the info's going to be.
And I'll be having a little look at how to put stuff on Spotify and Apple Music, so that we can reach further.
Yeah, you just want to reach way more people. And as you're saying, right, let's look what's on our show today. So what are we talking today about, Rebecca?
More anime movies are being released in the UK.
Ooh.
And our main ticket I'm also reviewing Emelia Watson's meme review with Coco.
Oh yes, and we got the big one at the end. We're gonna have our thoughts on E3. I know it's not overly anime, but it's
there's a lot of crossover.
There's a lot of crossover. As I said, there is I feel there's enough. I said, pretty much all the games we're talking about are from Japan, so I can tell you that now. I don't think there was anything that wasn't from Japan.
Nintendo, maybe something else.
No, there was actually another game I was looking forward to, and we talk about that. Right, so our first thing of the day. It's funny because last week our first episode was all about anime and movies, and it's like they must have like heard our podcast or something, our friends at Anime Limited, because they must have thought, oh, maybe they want some more movies in the cinema. And we've not got one movie to that has been announced to talk about. We've actually got two. So the very first one we're going to talk about, just getting the website up, is Violet Evergarden the movie is getting a proper cinema release on July 1st. It's to the point where...
Even though it's one night only.
It looks like it's one night only, and at the moment I'm working that night, so I'm probably going to be out of luck on that one. So I'm hoping, because this did happen with One Piece Stampede, that hopefully somewhere in London will be showing it at the weekend. So I can, because I got the Saturday off that week, so hopefully I will be able to go and see it. But at this rate, it looks like Rebecca's going to be able to go and see Violet Evergarden before I am. And I am a humongous Violet Evergarden fan, so that's...
I still need to see it, but the series is on Netflix.
Yeah, as I was saying...
So I could binge it.
Yeah, I strongly actually recommend it. Maybe we'll do a review on Violet Evergarden in leading up to this. Maybe the week before. We can do Rebecca's view on Violet Evergarden, and I can tell her why it's a masterpiece, and Rebecca could come in here and say, why have I not watched this masterpiece? I should listen to you more on your anime advice a little bit more. So there's...
And also bear in mind that this is like one of the first feature films they've done since their Fire in 2019.
Unfortunately, you may have heard Curry Animation, the organisation. I actually had a bit of a long history of them. I have literally been watching their stuff since Air, and literally, unfortunately, they had an arson attack. It was quite a nasty incident, and unfortunately, a lot of staff members lost their lives, and it was a really tragic event. Actually, last convention we had, MianiCon, me and another well-known events runner actually ran some special events. We actually ran a panel where we spoke about our favourite animes of theirs, like promoting where you could watch it, where you could buy officially support it, because you something like this, a company like this, you're going to need to support them. They're not always going to be able to rely on handouts. The best way to get them back on their feet is to watch their stuff, even if you're just streaming stuff on Netflix or Funimation or Crunchyroll. At the end of the day, it's still good for them. The views, at the very least, it's more like, oh, people like this company's stuff, we should get more of it. So, and of course,
we've got Maid Dragon Series 2 coming out next season, which is their first series since the Fire. So this we're hoping to cover the series.
Yeah, we also, that's because of course when the new series starts, we'll hopefully be covering a lot of the big stuff. We're not going to be able to watch every single anime that starts. I think there's like 40 animes that start at once. So we love you guys, but we're not going to watch 40 animes at once. When most of them are really bad. And I'm not watching 3,000 episodes of Cecil-san to understand what the heck's going on in Cecil-san.
Isn't most of that in Lost Media Hell?
Yeah. By the way, that series is actually, no joke, it's an anime that's been going since the 60s, and I think most of it is not available on home. I think about 300 episodes are available like on the Japanese Amazon Prime, and that's it. So we love you guys, but we are not that is just one step too far. We are not catching up with Cecil-san. And then you'd have to catch up with Doraemon, you'd have to catch up with Chibi Monoko-chan, you have to catch up with Shin-chan, you have to catch up with Detective Conan, you have to catch up with Pokemon.
Aren't you doing that anyway?
Detective Conan going very slowly. I literally started to watch Detective Conan literally for another video where I was just like going to watch a few episodes, and then I was like, actually I like this show and I love watching a load more of it. I like how we just...
And also, we might be losers, but we're not watching thousands and thousands of episodes of anime just to cover it.
But the good thing is we will be covering Maid Dragon 2. hopefully it's good. I really enjoyed the first one, but of course back to Violet Evergarden. So this is their first movie out. As I said, have I said the website?
Didn't they announce? Didn't they like have an OVA which
yes, there was
came
an
out?
OVA. It came out just. I haven't seen that yet. I need to sit down and watch that. I know there was an OVA, and the movie. As I said, the movie is out on July 1st. At the moment, it looks like it's a one night only. There is a website, violetevergardenfilm.co.uk. We will have it down in the comments up to the side, to the left, to the right.
Just to prove that I'm serious, I've put all the Violet Evergarden stuff that is on Netflix on my to watch list, so I'll hopefully get around to that at some point.
Excellent. I am looking forward to it. So, just to say, the Violet Evergarden website yet again is violetevergardenfilm.co.uk, and of course that is our friends over at Anime Limited are doing this, so it's awesome that they're putting another anime movie. It's especially cool when they're putting movies to film or series that are already out. As I said, Violet got a lot of love over here. They actually showed it on Netflix the actual week it came out in Japan. And America didn't get that. They actually have to wait for the whole series. And of course, the other, this film I'm really looking forward to. Really, actually, when I saw the first trailer, I was like, this is going to be an absolutely amazing film. In a weird way, it's like almost VTuber the movie, I think it's going to be. It's Belle. Of course.
For the Emelia Watson film.
Of course, that it was funny because we were talking about his movies last week. Of course, he made the second Digimon movie. I think he was the first one. I'm pretty sure he directed the first one as well. So it was two. I think
he was the first one. Yeah,
he definitely directed the second one because literally the plot of Summer Wars is practically the same to the second Digimon movie, or the basic plot.
The Boy and the Beast.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week. Of course. Wolf Children.
And the film that was... Wolf Children was someone else.
He didn't do Wolf Children?
I don't actually... Yeah, but...
I'm sure he did Wolf Children.
But...
yeah.
His last film, Mirai, not only got nominated for the Best Animated Feature Oscar, it also was the first anime movie to be nominated for the Best Animated Feature Golden Globe. No other Japanese movie has done that. Not even a Ghibli.
Not even Spirited Away, because they, of course, won the Oscar. Nope. Wow, that's actually quite shocking. That is really cool. Actually, there was last time when that Mirai came out, Anime Limited actually did a show, like a exhibition for the for all the studio Chaizu stuff. It was actually really, really good. I'm hoping they're doing something like that for Belle. Unfortunately, we don't have any release dates for it yet. Keep your ears peeled to this podcast, because the second there is a release date, we will be hyping the heck out of it. We will be like, yes, this Belle looks really good.
Hopefully, I'm not 100% sure, but may make an appearance in Scotland Loves Anime this year? I don't know.
I have a I don't know. I have a feeling it may actually be out before Scotland Loves Anime. We'll keep an eye on. We actually may go to Scotland Loves Anime this year. We may actually take the trip down to Scotland. So, well, I may, maybe, whether Rebecca comes with me. So yeah, that may be quite good. Maybe hopefully we can get some of the Anime. It'd be great to interview some of the boys at Anime Limited. They're always a really, really friendly bunch. So it'd just be epic to actually talk to them about things. So yeah. Right, so that is really our movie review, or not review, or movie previews for this. We have the second thing on. We have our meme review.
Wow, what an oxymoron!
Yes.
Last episode we were talking about that Emelia Watson was going on Coco's meme review.
Yes.
And boy, was it a treat!
It was. Because Coco, of course, is unfortunately leaving Hollow Live. We did feature that in our first podcast. That was one of the featured stories. I guess it's the follow-up. This was the unmovable object meets the unstoppable force. in the VTubing community. The crossover we always wanted, that we never quite got, but we finally got it.
It's finally happening.
Yeah.
We have. And it was just as wonderful as you said it was.
I said, unfortunately, I've been so busy like editing the podcast, like doing Twitter, being noticed by Guru Larry. I've literally only seen very short clips of it. I think the clips I saw was when Emelia was claiming that she loves mothers a lot, and that she just loves. And I was just like, oh god.
But not only this, but now Emelia has a recipe for Asakoko, which is something just as potent, or if not worse, than the Watson concoction.
Oh god. So yeah,
I'm expecting great things, but they got on like a house on fire.
Did they? From the clips I saw, they looked like they were really enjoying. It's really a shame that they couldn't do more streams together. I think they would have been quite a good little combo, those two. Of course, it seems to be that the EN girls don't. I mean, they do cross over from time to time with other languages people, but it seems to more be like they'll do one once in a while.
But probably like Coco's trying to get everyone to collab with her before she graduates.
Yes.
But I personally think, from watching the meme review, that I think if Coco's going to pass the torch on, it's got to be. I'd like it to be Watson.
So do you think you could see Emelia Watson carrying on the meme review show?
I probably think she'd be quite good at it. We do have Hollow Talk with Kiara.
Yes.
But I don't think Kiara is as zany as Watson is.
Yeah, no, that is the one thing I do like about Emelia Watson, is that she's just really wild and crazy and mad and just wants to ground pound everything. Like, no joke, like, out of all the EN girls, like, I understand like people will have their own preferences. I think I watched the most of Emelia. I do like Gura. I mean, there's photos on the internet to prove that I do like Gura, but I will admit that I just have a real soft spot for Emelia Watson. And normally, I think it's a lot of the time what happens is when I'm waking up at 4 o'clock for my job, because I gotta wake up at that sort of time for my job. Literally, normally she's streaming, and it's just like one of the things I do is put her. But I still remember one of the best ones I put on was. Do you remember the Minecraft one, where Gura?
Oh yeah.
I think Ko and Gura had separate streams at the same time, and I think Gura was trying to like prank. Like Emelia. I just happened to have like Emelia's stream on, and she's like, "Oh look everyone, there goes Gura in like the car," and then I just happened to turn it over to Gura's like stream, and she's like, "Okay, we're going to totally like prank Emelia's stream," and then she like opens the door and gets killed by a creeper. Just like,
I mean, some of Gura and Watson's Minecraft adventures are probably some of the most funniest Hololive content out there.
Yeah, it's just weird that I'm really not a Minecraft person, but I mean, I played a bit of it back in the day, but I'm one of these people I probably like. I wouldn't sit there watching PewDiePie like playing Minecraft. It's just that oh god, just the space adventure, the space program was just so. I just keep it. I just love the South Park reanimated version.
They're great.
Yeah, I just really love. There's this channel. I have like a link to it. They just reanimate like Hololive like streams, but in South Park's animation style.
It's beautiful. Though my favourite Hololive saga was always the prank war in Minecraft.
Oh, prank war! Wasn't that the one when she Gura tries to thingy Ina off the cliff?
No, no. You know the Watson. You know the Watson statue prank.
Oh, the statue, and they added the boing boing. And when she was trying to build it, they added the. I mean, we can't really talk about.
that there, otherwise we'll get demonetized.
Get demonetized because this podcast is totally monetized. Yeah, so no, it was just I love how we just gone off on a whole rant. I think of how it's almost
I think we need some HoloLive episodes in the future.
Yeah, we need to do some VTuber. I think we're still discovering like what we want to talk about, and
there isn't much of a market for
just people to.
There isn't much VTuber podcasts out there, but people will want to listen to it.
I mean, you say that, but it's not like certain other podcasts actually got want to follow live actually on them. Right. Do you think it's time we head over to our main subject of today? Our sort of
think it is.
Yeah, our big ticket item. Some of you may have noticed that there was a really, really humongous event on that like everybody on the internet was talking about. And of course that event was Euro 2020. But when that was also happening, there was another event that people were also talking about. And that event...
Also, football's coming home.
Oh, God, don't get me started. But there was another event that actually probably more people were interested in called E3. And, I'm going to be honest, I heard a lot of people say this E3 there wasn't a lot of very interesting games announced. And to tell you the truth, from what I've heard, Nintendo definitely won. Nintendo actually had some good stuff announced.
But the bar was very, very low to begin with.
I will admit Nintendo, it felt like Nintendo could, as long as everything wasn't just a port, Nintendo were going to win. But there was there is a few games I do want to talk about.
I will admit I did get clowned by some rumours.
So what did you think was going to happen? What things did you think? Because every year I hear Mother 3 is getting localized, and every year they let me down. Mother 3 never.
I'd probably think I was going to like see some more updates and stuff, but like some stuff I'm more updated would probably be happen at Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, of course. It's every year someone's like, oh, they didn't announce new Pokemon games. They never announce Pokemon games at E3. Pokemon's kind of like, nah, we do our own events. We put it on our Sunday morning television, like morning magazine. No joke. Pokemon is that big in Japan. They have a Sunday morning magazine show. There's just a load of like people sitting around talking about Pokemon, and that is mostly where most of the stuff is either announced on a direct or that. So yeah, that's why we never get anything majorly Pokemon. There will never ever be probably a new Pokemon game announced at E3. So yeah, when people say that, okay, the one thing I was surprised about, no Animal Crossing like updates. I thought they would like be like, oh, look at all these. Not even just like a quick like, hey, this is what we're adding to Animal Crossing. It's not like everyone's playing that game.
But we've probably had so much Animal Crossing thrust up this past year. Not just the game, but they seem to have so many collaborations.
True. Because I know Unico in the UK, or of course Unico is in a lot of countries, but the UK ones have recently been getting some Animal Crossing stuff in. So yeah. So let's talk about what stuff actually got announced at E3 that we liked. The one game I'm really actually kind of excited for was the Final Fantasy Origins. Now, Square Enix actually, you'd expect them to announce something about Final Fantasy 16. They didn't announce anything about it. That was close.
It's probably still in development, or probably change like Final Fantasy.
Oh no, please,
fifth.
Don't.
Some.
Yeah, don't. We don't need another Final Fantasy 13 versus. Thank you very much. But they announced a new game called Final Fantasy Origins, and it's being co-produced by Team Ninja and Techno who made the Dynasty Warriors games. And okay, I will admit, because Techno they get a lot of good licenses. They're really well respected. I mean, my only problems with them most of the time, it does feel like they kind of make the same game over and over again. It always seems like the Warrior. Like I remember playing Zelda the Warrior, and it did feel very much like I was like, wow, this is awesome for like 2 hours. And I just really kind of was a bit like, wow, like I kind of bored of this after a few hours. But I have heard good things about their Persona 5, the Persona 5 game they made. It wasn't just another Warriors game. They actually did look at the the game series and went, oh yeah, Persona works because there's lots of story and stuff. We need to make sure the story is actually strong and stuff. And like they actually had added elements from the actual franchise. So looking from this trailer, it wasn't like, oh my god, there's 1,000 monsters on screen at once and you got to beat them all at once. The combat seemed a lot more, I think there was like only a couple of monsters on screen at once. Of course, it was a lot more actiony, which is a bit weird because the main Final Fantasy series and Final Fantasy VII has gone very actiony. But I'm kind of, especially with Team Ninja, it does feel, I guess Square Enix are going to be working towards it. I'm very excited to see what the three of them... To me, it really looks like a sort of new take on the very first Final Fantasy, because there was talking of the Warrior of Light. And I will admit, I'm not the best person for the lore of Final Fantasy 1, but I do know that these sort of characters show up. So I don't think it's necessarily a remake. I think this is sort of some someone's taken elements from that game and are going to sort of tell a new story. So I'm actually generally like, okay, it could be a load of rubbish, but it's one of those things, if it's a load of rubbish, we'll just never talk about it again. This is like something I'm excited.
And like a lot of the most recent Final Fantasies.
I like most of the Final Fantasies. Thank you very much, Rebecca. I will defend 13.
But
I know.
I will defend 13 as well.
I always say is for someone who plays a lot of Football Manager, that game actually can be pretty fun in places. I know it's literally Final Fantasy Football Manager edition, but yeah,
Square Enix, get on it.
Yeah, as I said, Square Enix. No, I'm just really actually kind of excited. It's like one of those things, like I didn't see it coming, and I'm actually like, I just want to see what they do with this. If it's a load of rubbish, we can just chuck it into the pile. If not, if it's actually good. They also announced, was it?
Wait, hang on a minute. For this Final Fantasy stuff, I just find amusing that most of these new protagonists just like they've gone to Primark to get dressed and then put some cosplay armor on.
You saying that they that there's going to be like a Final Fantasy Primark crossover event, so we're going to be going like into Primark. Oh god, it's like you're going to go to the central line, because like they always do this now. Like Unico, there's always Unico flipping get like a cross promotion event. And it's like they always go over Metal Gear Solid, and Hideo Kojima would like go to Unico, and you could go to Unico and like meet Hideo Kojima, would just be sitting there, but like, yo, meet Hideo Kojima, and you could get like your game signed, and like everyone will queue up and stuff. I just love the idea, like all the Final Fantasy staff just showing up at Primark. And just like most of the people probably don't know.
But saying that, Primark over the last couple of years has done getting a lot of anime printed stuff.
Yeah, true. We could actually probably do a whole episode about Primark and its anime. They've been starting to get a lot of anime stuff in Primark, video game stuff as well. But they actually legit, like, I think they've got a few things. We should actually probably do an episode on that where we talk about Primark and anime stuff. That could be a really fun episode, I think.
If there's anything else Brits love, it's
Primark. So yeah, that definitely is. That's something we should definitely hit up at some point. They're actually going to be remaking like Final Fantasy 1 through 6 for the phone. That this time actually a pixel art and stuff. Because I know a lot of people don't like the remakes they currently have on the phones. So it's more true to the original games. So yeah, that would be pretty cool to have.
I just hope if they're going to like port those, we get some more early Square Enix titles ported to phones and such.
Yeah.
A particular one is Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, I would like to,
because that game is a classic.
I like to see Chrono Trigger. I think I would to see. There's another obscure Square Enix Live Alive. It came out right at the end of the Super Famicon's life. It never got an English release anywhere, but I hear it's actually a really decent game. But of course, as I said, I think there's like fan patches and stuff out there. but that actually would be quite nice to have something like that as a release. And maybe, hey, while you're at it, Square, maybe a Super Mario RPG 2. Thank you very much. Yeah, we know that's never happening.
No.
And as I said, so on to... And there really wasn't anything else that was announced that really took my interest. Outside Nintendo, don't worry, we get to Nintendo. There really just wasn't... Okay, there was no new consoles to announce. I think it's going to be a good 5 or 6 years before anything new. I may get an updated Switch. I think that's the nearest we're going to get. I don't really see... As I said, we're just starting a new cycle of consoles. So I said, except for maybe a new Switch, I don't think we're... Unless like a new unless the Dreamcast 2 comes out, which I doubt. I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I think Sega Saturn is actually going to probably fly before that happens.
Yeah, I think Sega Saturn Sun Shield before the flipping Dreamcast 2 is a thing. But yeah, I don't think there will be any other added. But I said, really, there was nothing really taking my... Now, I'm not saying there may...
Some Xbox stuff looked interesting. Yeah. It's like, there was this vampire game, which looked a lot like Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead, but with vampires? Imagine they announced Left 4 Dead 3. I just skipped the entire game. So actually sounds something they would do. Just go, no, Left 4 Dead 4.
I think the game's called Redfall, and it looks very interesting. Even though I'll probably not play it, but it's just got that vibe that people will go.
I mean,
with the amount of people that are going to, that have started streaming, people will stream this and they will have fun with it.
Yeah, I think sometimes a trailer can't always tell you much about a game. I think sometimes a trailer can absolutely destroy a game. Something like Dead Island is everyone was hyped for that game, and then when the game came out, it was like, wow, this is nothing like the trailer. This is just a very generic zombie game with some very wonky. I mean, some people I had some fun with Dead Island, but it was like when they sold it on that trailer, you were just a bit like, yeah, this was not the game. I think sometimes that is the problem, just the hype machine. You just think it's going to be one thing, and it's not another. I mean, something like No Man's Sky, even though I do know they really improved that game, I think it was just the initial, everybody were like, oh my god, this is going to be the most groundbreaking thing ever. I think just sometimes, that's what E3 is. It's just the big hype, and maybe sometimes.
And wasn't that when Dead Island came out, where every second game was like a zombie game?
Yeah, I think that's just sometimes the problem with E3 is everyone's trying to go, oh my god, this is going to be the most groundbreaking game ever. And I think sometimes maybe that what you need is not to go with all the hype, and then when the reviewers play it, they will say, hey, I went into Exonet's game thinking this was going to be some random generic thing, but it wasn't. It was a real good little title, and and I think sometimes that's just what you need, is if you just get to...
Do you remember that time when Watson was going to stream Cyberpunk, but instead she streamed The Outer Wilds?
Oh, why was that? Was she not allowed to stream Cyberpunk?
I think so, because they had all those glitches.
That's the other game that just died because of that was I remember going to Comic-Con, and they'd stick you in this room, and there was a presenter, and she was like, oh my god, look at all the things you can do in this game, and everyone's like, wow, look at all the things you could do in this game. And I like to think that that was just probably some pre-generated thing. It probably wasn't the actual game, it was probably a video that someone was pretending to play.
Though also, this E3, a lot of the big players sat out, particularly Sony, and a lot of the big titles that were planned for this year have been delayed till next year.
I mean, I always remember Miyamoto quote about this. Miyamoto's the man who created Mario. Was it a delayed game will never stay delayed, forever. It will only be delayed for a set amount of time. A bad game will remain bad forever.
That is true, but do remember that, like, with stuff like our friends at Nintendo, they delayed Animal Crossing for 6 months so that the workers could have a more healthy work balance.
And I mean, that game, in a way, that game launched the absolute most perfect time it could have launched. It literally was like if they waited, literally, that was the perfect pandemic game, that was. So, like, I still play Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is just so good. I've just gotten so invested in it. It just feels like, because I have played a lot of the others, but you just eventually kind of forget about your island. But now I'm just like, I'm still on an island, I'm still building, I'm still doing stuff. It's just nuts to think a year after the game came out, I'm still invested in the characters and stuff.
Isn't that a sign of a very good game?
That shows you something, and that's because they waited. And, I mean, of course, they got lucky, I guess, with the release. But they said they could have rushed the game out, but they didn't. And that, I think that was the main thing that shows you. But of course, talking about Nintendo, that literally was where all the good stuff was this year. Because Nintendo always seemed to do good on E3. Except for that flipping year, they just went, they just, everything was Smash Brothers. And you're like, we're not getting anything else outside of Smash Brothers, are we? Which is, I do like Smash Brothers. Which was the first announcement we actually got this year. We got, I've forgotten his name. We got the Kazuya from Tekken. Which I was actually, even though I'm not a big Tekken player, I will admit I am happy to see the character 100% made sense, because it was Tekken probably was the one big fighting game that didn't have a representative. And when you have like Street Fighter having 2 representatives and you're getting King of Fighters in there, it just made, like, Tekken went like bread and butter. It just made sense to have a Tekken character in there.
I just find it funny because, like, usually Tekken's more of a Sony title, but a lot of Sony titles have appeared in Smash.
I think it's more
Snake.
Yeah.
Joker from Persona 5, etc.
I think it's more. Don't forget, these people probably really respect Nintendo. With Persona, I think Persona got lucky. I think Persona was literally the game Sakurai was playing while he was making Smash, and he kind of had this sort of like, I want it in there because it will remind me of when I was making this game. So I could kind of like, I think they kind of just like, I think the Persona one, you know, that was kind of the lucky break one. But that was still super cool. That's what I do love about Smash, because some people are like, no, it should just all be the Nintendo characters. But I love just the idea of all these characters coming together, like, no matter what. Even if they were like mostly on Sony consoles or different consoles, like, Sonic can flip and be there, then everyone else can flip and be there. So that's why I'm just like that. So I just like it when I just seen all this, and it just felt right that another fighting game representative, like, come on, he's already in a fighting game. He has a good moveset. He's gonna. Oh yeah, just love the video when he's chucking everyone off the cliff, and he chucks Kirby off, and just Kirby comes flying back up.
Somebody's already made an edit of that with Nintendo and all the other companies at E3. That's already out.
Yeah, that pretty much was. So the other big announcement, or you kind of made an announcement before the big announcement, was our favourite game, or our favourite game with no news about it, was mentioned again. Metroid Prime 4 was mentioned yet again, and yet again they're like, boys, we're working on it, but we haven't got any footage of it. But we got images of something else that we've been working on even longer. And we actually got Metroid 5 that looks, it's a 2D Metroid game, and it looks really, really cool. It's more of a horror game. It seems like you're getting chased by this sort of robot thing, and it just looks really damn cool. I mean, I didn't see it coming. I really thought that, you know, they wouldn't touch anything except until after Metroid Prime 4 comes out. What did you think about that game, the Metroid 5 or Metroid?
I've never really played any of the Metroid games. Yeah. I've got friends who are obsessed with the Metroid games to the point where they speedrun one of the fan edits. Yes. And this, as someone who's not really played much Metroid fans, it makes you want to play the game.
It looks like they've added the elements, like, of course, I can understand it, the whole thing of Nintendo probably wants to make more 3D games, but I like the idea of them going back to the basics and go, okay, so we're making a 2D game, but what things can we add? And it was the things chasing you. You probably wouldn't have been able to do something like that on a Super Nintendo. And it just looked really like, I guess the style just looks really cool in it, especially how...
I just like how the music feels and how chilling it feels. Like, is this also remind me of like something out of Portal? As this like Nemesis in Alton Towers, which is a weird crossover.
It does feel more probably like when they made the original Metroid, they probably wanted to do things like this, but they were like, yeah, we can never like make it work. But it's just cool. I do like that sometimes when they go back to a more basic with this whole new like Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remake. I'm actually really interested to see where they're going with that. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's not 3D and stuff. I kind of would like to see like them go back to basics. I mean, the new Super Mario Brothers, that's something that they've done. They just went, let's go back to basics. Mario 64 was great, but what if we made another 2D Mario game today, and what that would look like? So that was just really, really exciting to see.
And also, hasn't Metroid Dread been in development hell since 2004?
Yeah, because I think there like mentions of it in like one of the first Metroid. I think like the first Metroid Prime.
Yep.
They literally mentioned it's like Project Dread. That's crazy to think that like something that's that game Metroid Prime is a flipping like HD remake. That shows you how long it took to get out of development. Wow, what an Easter egg! Like they were like, yeah, we're going to put this Easter egg in like almost 20 years before the flipping game comes out. So right, was there anything else on the Nintendo Directs we want to talk about?
We've got quite a few things actually.
What?
We've got. Do you want to destroy your friendships online?
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that. Mario Party Online. Mario. Oh god, imagine they're going to be playing that on HoloLive.
And just the amount of trolling.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. I'm looking for.
If Monopoly doesn't destroy your friendships, why not Mario Party Online?
So they're making a Mario Party Online that has a load of the older boards. So none of this stupid you going around in the same car with everyone. Loads of the older mini games. I'm hoping they let you pick mini games you want to play. So there's certain mini games you hate, you don't have to play them. That would be really awesome. So you can almost customize your experience.
We've also got the game that I'm really looking forward to as well.
That?
Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yes, they announced that at the was that the first time they've shown that off, or had they shown off any trailers for that?
I think as far as I remember, I think this is the first time this trailer has been shown.
But had they announced they were making it? That's what I'm saying.
It's been announced for about a couple of years now.
I think one of those things like there's like Metroid Prime 4. There's been like a trailer that just says Metroid Prime 4 is in development. And that's it. That's all you get. It's like no picture of the characters.
Persona 5 was in development for about 3 years before the game actually came out.
But yeah, no, that looked really cool as well. It was cool to see Japan, Tokyo again. Of course, we got to see the new protagonists and the pretty school uniforms.
That is a beautiful school uniform. And at first, when I looked at the trailer, I was like, is this going to be like the Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem crossover? Yeah. Because that was a thing for the Wii U.
Maybe actually we released that on the Switch, I believe. My question is, will Dante be available in this one?
If we ever get a PC version, I'm sure someone will mod him in, apart from the obvious Thomas the Tank Engine mods.
I mean, there's a train in that game, so you technically could sort of Thomas the Tank Engine in there.
But we have seen like some of our favourite demons in the Shin Megami Tensei series have made their appearance, and you can actually, if you can actually say, we don't want you in teams, like, fine, maybe I don't want to be in your team, Ben. Laters, or towards Sunday, and like,
you can actually that's actually cool. How you can actually get like a social thing with them. That you can just be like, I totally don't want you in my team, and they will go, no, I'm going to join anyway because you don't want me. I think that was cool. I mean, I never played any of those. I played Persona. I've never played any of the originals. I'm just horrible at pronouncing it.
Shin Megami
Tensei. Yeah.
Nocturne has recently been remastered and released on the PC. Because I have got a friend who's playing that at the moment.
Is Dante available on that version?
I haven't looked at the mods yet.
I'm just going to ask that for every game now. I'm going to say, is Dante from the Devil May Cry series available?
Is it going to be Dante first, Thomas the Tank Engine second?
Like every modder now is going to be like, how can I mod like Dante into this game, and how can I mod Thomas the Tank Engine into this game?
I can't believe I put another of my projects has got Thomas the Tank Engine in.
God, I know. Oh God. Now I'm just trying to.
But we
didn't talk.
But wait, we've got more.
What other games did they have, Rebecca? Tell us.
We've got a new Warrior game coming out.
Okay, this may be actually my one little moan. I do actually like the Wario Inc. games, and this still looked like a very, like, they're adding, like, multiplayer features, and they're, like, adding some features that definitely did need to be added. But this is someone who grew up with Wario Land 2, Wario Land 3, and Wario Land 4. I just really want another Wario Land. I want another Wario platformer. I mean, come on, you're flipping, like, introduce Waluigi after this. You know, a new Wario Land, you know, maybe you can play, like, Waluigi at some point. I just want... I know there was, like, one on the Wii, but I don't know, I just really... I think there's, like, a Wario Master of Disguise that I think was kind of, like, another attempt. I just really want another... Like, no one ever says it. Like, I do like the Wario Inc. games, don't get me wrong. But it's like, we can have Wario Inc. and a new Wario Land with Waluigi as well. Like, people would go nuts for that. Come on, they announced a new Wario Land with Waluigi somehow playable or, you know, somehow involved. People would like go nuts and everyone would buy it. And maybe a remaster of Wario Land Virtual Boy, because I can't play that one because I don't have a Virtual Boy.
But you know, poor Waluigi will never get in Smash.
I know, that's so sad because he's already summon character, the trophy character, so he can't be in both. So unless they take him out of that, I guess they could edit him out.
He'll probably be in their can't be in Smash corner along with Goku
and you know, actually technically there's only ever one anime character that they officially ever considered. I think when the first Smash came out, there was like a poll on like the official Smash website saying like what character like would you like to add, and the long running anime series Doraemon. It's about a blue robot cat that travels back in time to essentially stop this guy from being a loser. Literally, he is he was one of the options. So technically, Doraemon is the only anime character to officially be considered by Smash. That's crazy. So it's crazy to think like not even Goku technically. I mean, they've admitted they've been asked a lot to bring Goku into the game, but I feel they're like, yeah, we know that's off the table. I mean, that's kind of why they brought one of the reasons they brought the Dragon Quest characters in, even though Dragon Quest is ridiculously popular in Japan. So that also made sense. I think they were also themselves were actually asked for a lot by the Japanese fan base. So, because I think that was the year they did BanjoKazooie as well. So I think what they kind of said is they gave, okay, we're going to give what all the Western fans want, and then we're also going to give what the Japanese fans want. So both sides are happy. So it's not like they just added Banjo. The Japanese fans would be like, oh man, you're not like our Dragon Quest thing. But if they added Dragon Quest, all the Western fans would be like, oh, Dragon Quest isn't as popular over here. So yeah, that's probably why. Right. But yeah, the new Wario Inc. game actually does look good with the 2-player. Isn't that online features as well?
Yep. I probably think that's like some of the
2-player
playings online.
2-player looks like there's some cool. I mean, you can play as different characters and different things. So no, that looked like a cool, nice boost up. I'm trying to remember, was there anything else we?
Yes, we've got like loads of games that are being like made to HD and whatnot. Yeah. We've got yet another Danganronpa
remake, remaster,
port, but this time they've added like an online board game which gives more story to the characters.
Yay!
And like all the main games.
Party.
Actually, knowing how some Danganronpa fans can get, I don't think I'd want an invite.
So you had the Danganronpa. I just try to remember. It's like it did announce so much. What other games did they announce?
We've got Advance Wars 1 and 2.
Yes, the Advance Wars.
Loads of people are so
I never
excited
got into
about
Advance
this.
Wars, but it's like one of those things where you're like, actually, I'm happy that makes a lot of sense because Advance Wars had not been touched since the Game Boy Advance. No, wait, there was a DS. There was a DS one, but it feels like that it was a franchise they forgot about. So I'm happy to see. I like it when Nintendo remembers franchises that they forget about. Just remember Mother now. Give us Mother 3.
What about Star Fox and Donkey Kong?
Fox. Donkey Kong's getting stuff. Donkey Kong's getting like Donkey Kong Country and things.
But
the New Country and stuff like that. But yeah, the other. I was just trying to remember what else. It's like one of those videos.
We've got the big ticket items.
What's that?
Zelda's 30th anniversary.
Yes!
We've got Skyward Sword HD.
Skyward Sword HD. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Skyward Swords, so... But it's good that, the game's probably getting another chance. Hopefully they can do some stuff to make it better. I will admit, I am half interested in that Game & Watch.
That's because you got the Mario one.
I've got the Mario one already, but I'm half like... That's the thing now. It's like connected to my Switch. I'm looking at it right now. I use it as a clock, and I'm like, that's the only problem. Like, where would I put my Zelda one? Like, because
would you have it on like a chain, like some sort of 90s rapper?
I mean, just walk around like with a rapper chain. Just so I was just like, yo guys, let's play some Zelda 2. Oh god, it's gonna be like that Zelda commercial back in the 80s where he's like rapping.
Wait, Link can talk?
No, it's not Link. It's just like these two kids, and they're like, he's like, yo, check out this new game I got, and he's like, wow, the graphics look amazing. And then he's playing it, and the jock kid just starts rapping. He's like, The Legend of Zelda is really rad. I can't remember. It's just like the most like 80s, like late 80s thing ever. It's just like, what?
But we've also got more news on the Hyrule Warriors.
Oh yes.
Expansion things. The thing that amuses me. Zelda on what looks to be some Hyrulean motorcycle.
Yes,
the memes just write themselves.
Breath of the Wild motorcycle that you can get when you like completed everything.
The memes just write themselves.
Yeah, she's on that. Of course, they showed the new Breath of the Wild 2 stuff. They show you falling from the sky. So I'm guessing that you can go to the sky. So there's going to be stuff in the sky now. Maybe you could go up there, Skyward Sword, and Skyward Sword stuff is going to happen. But no, that actually does sound potentially really cool. I mean, that's what
It does look a very beautiful game. You probably won't see it for at least another year.
No, you won't.
But knowing how well Breath of the Wild, the original, went down, probably one of the... So many of my friends that are Zelda fans probably say it's the best one.
No, it's the best one. I played it. It's the best one. I mean, before I'd say Link to the Past was my favourite. Yeah, I'd say that. I know some people will be like, what? It's not Ocarina of Time? No, I like Link to the Past more, and I like that one. I like Breath of the Wild more. Breath of the Wild was, as I said, it was the fresh air. It literally was a Breath of the Wild, and I just love that game so much. I need to play more of it. I need to get the Switch version because I had the Wii U version because I was poor and I couldn't afford a Switch at the time.
Yeah, you pretty much waited to the game to get.
Yeah, we were at a convention that weekend, so I was in Southampton, and I literally just went the first day of the convention. I literally got upset.
You went to Toys R Us?
No, I went to Game in Southampton. Just walked in there, and everyone there was like, "Can I have a Switch, please? Can I have a Switch, please?" I just sit there and I go, "Hi, can I have Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, please?" And it's almost like they just threw it at me in disgust. And it's like I just sit there, and everyone else is I see people at the convention on their Switches playing Breath of the Wild, and I'm just sitting there, this copy going, "Oh man, I can't play this yet because I'm my Wii U's at home and it's not portable." So yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
So
I mean, some of the other Nintendo big ticket items didn't have an update, but Splatoon 3 was announced in their last Direct, but I don't think we'll get any.
No, I think we'll get
specific Splatoon
stuff for a while.
News for quite a while.
As I said, I don't think we're ever going to get Mother 3, unfortunately. Star Fox. I mean, we may get a remaster of the of Assault one day. I think it'd be nice to have a version that you can actually use more normal controls. I think that game does deserve a second chance. Maybe with just more stuff added and maybe a few things swapped around. Of course, I don't think F-Zero is another franchise. I don't think they're going to really touch that. Mario's probably not going to get anything big for a while. Of course, Pokemon.
We have just had their anniversary.
Mario's has just had his anniversary. So I think they're probably working towards the next anniversary. And as I say, Pokemon's always going to be more its own thing. It's going to always have its own Direct. It's kind of it doesn't have to be off E3's thing. It's gonna have its whole thing. Right, I think, have we covered everything we wanted to cover in Nintendo Directs?
Yep.
I think we have.
Have we got some releases this week as
have
well?
We got releases? Yes, we do. We do that. Normally do that earlier, but we're going to have a quick look. Let's have a quick look at.
I've written them down.
Have written them down. Please tell us, Rebecca, because I'm inconfident and I forgot to write them down. Can you please tell us what we released this week?
We've got on 21st of June. You can buy as an alltheanime.com exclusive and a Zavvi exclusive Your Name in 4K, which we talked about last week.
Yes, we were talking about Your Name. Is there any other big releases this week?
Right, we have got Eureka 7, an enemy film.
Oh yeah.
Which is in the series of the Eureka 7 movies.
I saw the first one of that. I'm looking forward to seeing the second one. Hopefully this one is not just a clip episode.
It doesn't look it.
I was told by a staff member at Anime Limited. He reassured me. He actually gave me the warning. He said, just to warn you, the first one is practically a clip show and not a very good clip show. But he did say good things. He said apparently the second one's really good. So I'm looking forward to picking. I'm actually probably going to try and pick that up in person from the Anime Limited boys.
Right. We've got Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt, Bandit Flower from our friends at All the Anime. And we've got Hunter x Hunter Part 5 from Funimation.
I didn't even realise they released Hunter x Hunter on DVD over here. That's awesome. I must pick that up. Yeah, talking about Funimation, that's probably going to be one of our main subjects next week, is about Funimation, of course, buying out manga entertainment. So I think next week's we're going to be talking about essentially the history of both Funimation and manga entertainment in this country, because both of them have quite a long and interesting history over here.
We're talking stuff even.
Yeah, I mean manga, especially manga entertainment.
When you were born.
Yeah, manga entertainment really old. Funimation, as I said, Funimation have had really weird spells. They've almost practically been with everybody except for ADV. I think ADV was the only people they never went with at any point. So that will be a weird. That's going to be a fun. It's going to be a fun little look back.
We've probably got a lot of research to do for that one, and also
sure that's good.
I think there might be some more Unico UTTs coming.
Yeah, maybe I'll actually pop down to Unico and I can maybe give us some reviews what we think about Unico t-shirts and stuff. So that's something to look forward to next week. Anime in the UK.
Yeah, we've got. I mean, like, there's lots that have like been. Yeah. I mean, they've teased out the Pokemon collection.
Yeah.
They've got a second part of their Jujutsu Kaisen collection because I wanted to get one of the parts of the first collection, but they sold out so quickly.
So yes, hopefully we'll be doing some of that in next week's episode. Of course, if you have enjoyed this podcast, please give us a subscribe. I know we're new. I know we're only starting out, and we're still getting used to this all. Thank you very much.
We're noobs at this. Tell your friend, tell your
cat,
friendly,
tell your dog,
tell your dog,
tell your goldfish, tell your VTuber. Definitely tell your VTuber. And yeah, tell your VTuber waifu. Definitely tell your VTuber waifus to go and watch us. And could they come on the show, please? Because we really need as much exposure as we can. And so give us a subscribe, give us a like, give us a comment if you enjoyed the show. Just say what your favourite part of E3 was. Do you think it was a bit lackluster this year? Of course, with the situation, I think we kind of knew it was going to be a bit lackluster. So, Rebecca, is there anything else you want to add before we say goodbye to our viewers?
We have, I mean, like, we've got more like film trailers popping up and things like that. But if anything comes up, we'll let you know in relative time.
As I said, so keep it to this. Of course, keep to our Twitter at Anime in UK. Please do, because we'll hopefully have all the latest updates. So if anything comes out, we'll have like any movie news coming out in cinema, any events, because they'll be starting up again. Any events popping up, we'll also be popping them up. Right, I think it's time to say goodbye for this week.
I think we
do. So until next time,
I think we've rambled on long enough. I think
until next time, I said keep enjoying your anime and see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.